Tough question from our buddy Craig. In fact, it took me a few minutes to sit down and figure out how to support you in navigating the situation. Craig is 20 years old. He's a college student. He lives at home. His 23-year-old brother is a autistic savant. Apparently he's a genius, but he's a wild mess, and he creates havoc at home. Verbally and mentally abuses his parents. His parents kick him out every once in a while, his older brother, and but ultimately bring him back. And this is creating a very frustrating cycle of dysfunction that is eating away at Craig, because he feels as if his parents, his father in particular, who's ill with Parkinson's disease, is growing sick and decrepit due to the stress associated with their wild and crazy oldest autistic son. And he goes on to say that he feels powerless. He's got an idea about taking decisive action. He doesn't give us any idea about what that decisive action is, but you know, he sounds frustrated, so that decisive action probably is something that's real harsh, relatively speaking. But he's powerless because his dad keeps saying to him, obviously this is not his choice. He can't kick his older brother out of the house. But his dad keeps on saying something that sounds very Elliot Hulse-esque. This is a challenge for our family that's going to help us grow stronger. It's through these challenges that we'll become stronger versions of ourselves, and that we've got to put up, we've got to tolerate, we've got to deal with this, and it will only help us in the long run. God doesn't give you challenges that he doesn't believe you can overcome. Things of this nature, which is very poetic, and I often spout the same advice. But Craig is like, something needs to be done. His ultimate question actually is, and this is really the root of it. This is a great question. Challenges do make us stronger, yes. But at what point is it time to take decisive action and put an end to the madness? Okay, so the thing is, you can't make decisive action. You'd like to make decisive action, but you don't have the power to make decisive action. It's your parents' responsibility to do what needs to be done in this situation. All you can do is sit back. Now, there is power also in non-action. See, you're very forward-thinking. You're wanting to attack with decisive action in order to deal with the situation, but you're powerless to do so. One of the things that's happening in your home is called what's that term? Oh, I'm sorry. Enabling. That's it. There's a lot of enabling going on with your brother, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with guilt associated with his illness and whatnot. So your parents are constantly yielding to him, and that's neither here nor there. It's not our place to judge. It's not my place to judge. But you do not have to support the situation. You don't have to actively do something, but non-violent resistance speaks just as loud as physical, aggressive, decisive, like you say, resistance. And you merely have to look at the likes of Gandhi and Martin Luther King to realize just how powerful not putting up with the enabling is going to support you. So my invitation would be to first speak with your parents about what you are about to do. Explain that you see what's going on, and I'm sure you have before, that you don't approve of what's going on, and this is not my judgment, this is yours. You don't approve of it. In other words, Elliot Hulse. I'm just giving you a perspective that might support you from where you're at. You don't approve of it. You're not going to resist it, but you will not support it. And that means it could show up in the form of when they ask you to do something for your brother. Oh, your brother needs you to pick him up from the hotel that he just got kicked out of, or whatever the case may be. You just don't, I'm sorry, I'm not participating. Now, it doesn't mean that you actively kicked him out. You're just not participating in the enablement of his activity, of his behavior, of what's going on in the house. You do not support it, but you're not fighting against it. And a lot of times there's far more power in our nonviolent resistance, as we've seen throughout history, than actively, decisively attacking that which is causing us problems. It requires a bit of yielding, but it's a far more intelligent and agile way of dealing with the situation. You will use less energy also. you'll be able to reserve your energy so that you can do better in school. So that's it, my friend. I hope that helps you. Give that a try. Good luck.